Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this show, we are welcoming Rodolfo Assis aka Brute Logic into our show. Welcome Rodolfo Assis aka Brute Logic. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Hammer. How are you, man? Hope you are
I'm
fine.
doing I'm doing good. How are you, mate?
Nice. I'm fine too. I hope all
That's
the viewers are good too and have a good time enjoying our show.
Yeah, exactly. So I will try to bring up this kind of shows. It's not a kind of a formal way, but it's kind of a interactive talks, which I'm planning to. And thank you so much for showing up today. And it's really so good of you and so nice of you.
Uh, I think I'm kind of well known in the community for the good of a tool for XSS called Nox that a lot of guys are using it to get bounties or for penetration tests, so, any kind of security assessment. Uh, I'm specializing in XSS cross-site scripting for the last years because I've seen an opportunity to to share to people basic somewhat advanced concept on cross-site scripting. It was something that was not talked a lot in the years that where I started. Uh, so nowadays it's kind of widespread the knowledge about cross-site script. Uh, for some, kind of sound lame, but there's a lot involving cross-site script and WAF bypasses, CSP bypass. There's a lot of subjects on cross-site scripting. I'm also specializing in bypass for WAFs because I have worked for Sucuri for some for a couple of years in the past. So besides my own research in the wild, so I think people know me already. If you don't know me, please check my online stuff. Just search for Brute Logic on your preferred search engine,
Yeah, so
and I'm here.
for all the viewers, I will put that your Twitter handle in the description. Okay, sure. That's really great. We all know you as a Brute Logic, so instead of a real name. So we really did all your exercises or cheat sheet which we have on your official website. Let me bring that down a quick bit uh, to show the people. Yeah,
BruteLogic.com.br.
brutelogic.com.br. Yeah, I will put that in description as well. Let me
Yeah,
bring that up
it's
here.
BR because I'm from Brazil. BR is a TLD from Brazil.
Okay.
So
So here is the website. So please check it out. It's really worth it. And we will talk more about this in detail. Yeah, go ahead. You're saying something, Brute.
you were talking about
Okay, about myself.
you talk about yourself, right?
Okay, sure. So I myself, Hema Kumar. So I do have total experience of 11 years of IT experience, I would say, and 5 to 6 years of pen testing experience, which I have. So I jumped into bug bounties 2 years back. So I was doing bug bounties, but till last 6 months before, most of the times I used to do reconnaissance, and I might found some couple of bugs, but and then eventually I started digging, going deep and understanding all the vulnerabilities very deeply. So that's where I used to focus more on the SQL and XSS and Open Redirect, and then I stepped up and then I have learned some other vulnerabilities in deep like SSRF, XXE, HTTP request smudging, cache poisoning, right? So different vulnerabilities. So I still, uh, not getting time to do bug bounties much and spend some 1 to 2 hours weekly or daily, depending on my free time. So currently, I'm working in one medical device company, which I'm doing pen testing for. a few products. So coming to my hobbies, doing some research and uh, doing bug bounties. That's it. So I would why I do bug bounties is I always want to be up to date in this field. So we will explore different tools. We will explore different methods or techniques or trips, right? So that's the reason I'm doing bug bounties and to gain some very good knowledge and good expertise. Okay, getting back,
Yes.
yeah, I know you are XSS god. So why you want to create a before going to the tool? Why you want to go deep dive in XSS? What made you to uh, go deep dive into XSS tool? Why not other vulnerabilities?
Back in 2050, when I started with XSS, it was because of the current vulnerabilities that was in the spot. Pretty much all of them, SQL injection, IDOS, etc. XSS was the only one that I couldn't understand it well, because I saw guys building payloads and bypasses and all that stuff, and I couldn't really understand. Of course, because of my lack of understanding in JavaScript, too. But it was not just like that. I did not see uh, uh, a comprehensive resource about XSS. From the very beginning to to basics to advanced to extreme levels. I've only seen extreme stuff. The top researchers in the field were sharing they work, but it was something too advanced for me and for a lot of people out there. So I decided to learn by myself the very basics and step by step building the foundation for my mind to understand. And in that journey, I've started to look for bugs to follow my own philosophy. Don't learn to hack, hack to learn. So I've started in a website with full disclosure of XSS vulnerabilities, which is the open bug bound website now. But at that time, it was just about XSS, and we could submit XSS vulnerabilities only, and it was completely full disclosure. So one could see all the payloads, all the URLs, all the POCs, POCs, proof of concept. So I've started to walk this path, finding vulnerabilities in the wild to report, and I realized that I could be in the top guys submitting those vulnerabilities. I've started to automate some kind of my work, and in few months, I've become the very first one in the rankings, the VIP rankings, the overall rankings, and top website ranking too. So I saw that as an opportunity to not just to learn, but also to share what I've learned. Because as I said, no one was sharing basic stuff or something to help people who are starting to understand XSS in a basic level. So I've started to share that in my blog, in my tweets, for people to follow my journey. And I'm here now. In 2016, 1 year later, I was hired by Sukuri, which was a security company that has a cloud WAF acquired by GoDaddy some years later. And I helped them to build a stronger WAF. Until today, Sukuri, at least regarding XSS, is one of the best cloud WAFs out there to protect the website against SSS. So I think I have. have did a good job there.
That's really awesome. Yeah. So I have practiced all the labs which you have created in the Brute Logic website, right? It's really
Yes.
uh, take it from starting point to at least intermediate to advanced, right? That's really helpful for beginners and also who want to go into advanced level in XSS, right? So it's really good guide. And also let me share your XSS cheat book in the screen. So this is the Brute Logic website, guys. So go and check out this Excel sheet, okay, which you can download the sample and you can see it. If you really like it, then you can purchase it. It's really worth it, guys. Definitely will be helpful in bug bounties or in pen testing journey. Okay, so give it a try for sure. I want to talk about the tool which you have created, which is Knox XSS or KNO XSS. So how do I call
Yeah,
it?
we call it Knox, just Knox.
Knox. Yeah.
Like the word in English, knock, the verb knock. Knox because it's XSS, so Knox. Knox is an attempt of mine to build a different type of XSS tool. At the time, maybe until today, because I have seen some tools, but they are not like Knox yet. Uh, all the tools at the time were Python based, command line based. So XSS, it's kind of a different kind of vulnerability because it requires a browser, to perform the actual attack of that XSS vulnerability. And a browser, it's a program that it's not just an HTTP client. It not only receives the source code from the website, it also process and executes the JavaScript code that comes with that source code. Most of the HTTP clients in command line, for example, like curl, they do not process JavaScript code. They can only parse the HTML source code, and other tools like OWASP, Zap, or even Burp, or those Python-based XSS tools. They just parse. They just it's a kind of filter to find the keywords that they need to understand what's going on in that HTML or JavaScript context. But they don't actually run JavaScript. They don't. They can't see the alert box, the famous alert box that proves the XSS vulnerability. But Knox uses a browser, two browsers, in fact, in the backend, a Chrome one and a Firefox one, to ensure that the payload that it finds actually can pop the alert box, and that's unique to Knox. So it's a tool that can pop the alert box for you because it tests before. It knows that it can pop the alert box, so it pops the alert box for you. Uh, uh, that being said, uh, the false positive rate is very low. It's almost zero because it can only pop the alert box if it pops the alert box for itself. Uh, that's the main difference from the other tools, and that was I had in mind at that time to build such a tool. It evolved a lot in the last years. It's going to complete 5 years of existence, and Ox is powerful than ever, with support to DOM-based XSS, some basic case, of course, because it can't be too complicated. CSP bypasses, the most common ones, guessing of hidden parameters, blind XSS, and even some kind of bypasses for against WAFs and against some applications that perform some mutation or changes in the input. There is a lot of XSS cases covered by Knox. So I invite you and all the viewers of the video to check our website to see what Knox can do for you, helping with your XSS needs.
Yeah, so I'm popping up on the screen. So here is the Knox tool. So you need to visit this page and you can do a sign up of 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. And then you can log in. And so I will do a detailed video on this one, how to use Knox tool. It's really very useful and it's really handy because uh, if you're trying to do it manually because you might miss something, that doesn't mean that you need to go in detail. It might take some time. It's a very good handy tool. That doesn't mean that you should not do it manually. Okay, you need to keep this tool handy and then try doing it manually and go visit all the pages, right? And even recently I started analyzing JavaScript files in depth because we don't know there are some hidden parameters will be there or any parameters which you can add to the actual path manually and you can try it out, right? There you might get accesses there. So it's always good to analyze the JavaScript and try to add more parameters which are there in the JavaScript and try for XSS payloads. Okay. So this
Yeah,
is the Knox tool for reference. Yeah.
it's important to keep in mind that any tool for anything, it's not a replacement of the analyst itself, himself, herself, because it's auxiliary. It's something that helps you with your hunting, with your assessment. It can't replace a human operator. I insist on that for people because uh, it increases your productive a lot, but because it checks things you might forget, you might miss. But it's not the final word for a vulnerability, except if you, of course, if it finds something. If it finds something, you can see that it achieved its goal. But if not, there is a runtime log. There is some clues that can help you to investigate further and pop the alert box, for example, manually, or to have a clue about another endpoint that is similar to that one. That's a little different. That makes possible to access it. As I said, it's just something that to help you, not to replace you.
Yeah, and thank you so much for updating the tool, Knox tool up to date, and you have releasing the version to version and adding more bypasses or more features. So the quick methodology will be whenever you're finding some input is getting reflected in the source code, right? Or if you feel that there is DOM or some location dot search, these type of things which you are seeing, and if there are encoding it or there are if there are no bypasses, then try that Knox tool, right? If you're seeing some reflections, put that URL in Knox tool and it will do some bypasses there. Okay, I will do some
Yeah.
detailed video next time and I will upload that in the YouTube channel. Okay, with the help of brute logic. So yeah. Okay. uh, so do you have any suggestions to the bug hunters?
Suggestions to bug hunters in general.
Yeah, in general.
Uh, uh, first of all, I think the 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 key to success in bug bounty, in bug hunting, better said, is to have a very good reconnaissance strategy. Uh, what did that means? It means you have to find uh, good service, hidden service uh, that can lead you to find more vulnerabilities that people are not aware of. It's kind of the quote: the first to come is the first to serve. So when people find a server, they quickly will find the vulnerabilities there. So you have to be one of the first to come to that server, uh, uh, which means it can be a public one, but no one has discovered yet, or it's a private program, and you are the very first ones to inspect, to assess, to hunt on this very particular server, which increases a lot your chance of finding an XSS, and SQL injection, an IDOR, or SSRF, any kind of bug. So you have less chances if you get a server that thousands, not thousands, hundreds, thousands of guys already run the scans or inspect them manually. So to increase your chance, try to improve your record skills and find the best servers in the sense they will be more vulnerable because less people had access to them.
Yeah, that's true. So don't. I'm not saying not to much focus on the recon, but recon is a very important phase in the whole process. Try to identify some unique domains, kind of internal domains. Either from Shodan or from Google Dorking or from GitHub
Yeah,
subdomains. Right. These are the three places where you might get subdomains which are not usually you will get to some from normal subdomain, normal enumerating tools. Right. So these are the three ways like Shodan, GitHub, and Google Docking, which will be very useful. Trust me, it is very useful for you to find out some very unique and internal subdomains. Okay.
yeah,
So
definitely.
when I can see any update to Knox tool, do you have any plans as such in future?
Yes, yes. I always have some ideas to deploy on Nox. The next one for sure will be the creation of an API for finally the guys who want to mass scan websites, application service to be able to do that. Uh,
Okay.
because Knox can only inspect test one page at a time. But with an API, things will get really complicated. That's why it wasn't made until now. With the release of the latest feature, which is Flash Mode. Flash Mode is a feature when we use less resource, we inspect less the page to increase the speed. We use a polyglot. In fact, there are two polyglots because one excludes another, and depends on the place of the input too. Those two polyglots are quickly verified, and they cover most of the case. They are tested against our XSS gene, which is our latest XSS page for testing and for exercise. If you are watching me right now, you can check it on brutalogic.com.br slash xgene.php. Uh, there are more than 30 Ks, 33 Ks, access case that you can check. So with this creation of the test page and the polyglots, uh, uh, they they uh, they form the flash mode. So to build an API with this flash mode, it's way easier. Of course, in the very first phase of the API, which will be only the flash mode, uh, we can miss some access case because we can't check all the case so fast to be able to provide such a service. We have to scan a given page in seconds, which a full scan could take 2 or 3 minutes, maybe even more. But it will help a lot because most of the case will be caught by by this API, and later we are rethinking in a way to speed up this process to be able to catch all the case with an API. That will be launched as a different service because there will be a dedicated service just to do that in the full mode. In the flash mode will be just an addition to Nox Pro. Actually, there will be no extra price or increasing price, just the regular service with that API for flash mode. But when we come with a full API to catch all the case, there will be a separate service just for that. maybe
Okay.
Knox Mass or Knox in Book, some kind of name will be given to that. Uh, Besides that, the constant evolution of payloads. I'm always revising those payloads. I'm always checking if they fit well, if they can bypass stuff. I remember some weeks ago I had to change the way we alert the pop-up because there is a way that we can construct the alert. I mean the string alert, the alert one string, that we can use to bypass Cloudflare, for
Mm.
example. So if you have a situation where you just need to inject JavaScript to concatenate the alert box, the alert one call with your current JavaScript code, if you do in a such way, you can kind of obfuscate it. It's not really obfuscated, but it's kind of uh, uh, messed it up to trick the firewall. So it bypassed Cloudflare in such a way. So we are always revising those payloads to get it in the best way possible. And features also come eventually with to increase speed or to cover more XSS cases. But Knox, in the way it is, it covers a lot of cases already. So we are going to get out of beta next year, most probably. 5 years in beta stage. I think we are ready to say it's a final version of the product with only improvements, but it's kind of closed. It's kind of finished. Uh, so that's it. That's our roadmap for the upcoming months.
Okay, we also have an extension, right, for Knox tool, a Chrome extension, which is really useful. If you turn it on, so it will do some background work for you when you're crawling to some pages, and it's a really good tool, which is a good extension with respect to the URL which we can use using the Knox Pro, right? Yeah.
Yeah, one thing to remember is that we are in October, and next month, November, there will be the Black Friday sales, which a lot of users are expecting for an entire year to get the tool for a very low price with high discounts, up to 50% off. So it will be really a good deal. It's only possible because of the volume of transaction of subscriptions, so we can run the service for an entire year. So if you are planning to get a Knox subscription or want to add it to your arsenal, don't miss this opportunity in the Black Friday next month.
That's really nice. Thank you for the discount. And whenever it pops up in the Twitter handle, I will share it across to all our team, and I hope it will reach to the maximum. Okay, so thank you so much, Rodolfo, Assis, Oka, Brute Logic. So thank you so much to join our show. And so here is the Twitter handle.
Thank you.
So please follow him. He's a really very nice guy, very down to earth person. He always help me and any most of the people if any XSS related queries. So here is his Twitter handle. Follow him. And thank you for joining this show. And really have a nice day and have a rest of the day. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Hema. I have no words to thank you really for this opportunity. And I want to invite any of the viewers of the video to, if you want to learn more about XSS, visit my blog, follow me on Twitter. As Hema said, I'm always willing to help with XSS or not. If you have any doubt about any vulnerability or anything related to your career, of your work, if you are a researcher or not, if you are a bug hunter or not, just drop me a message in a private message, direct message in Twitter, and I'm always willing to help and read all my stuff, make questions. and don't miss this opportunity to improve yourself, your knowledge overall. Have a lot of experience to share. Thank you so much. Follow him too for awesome videos on bug hunting or hacking, on everything he can provide. And stay with us. Thank you.
Thank you, and I will provide the Brute Logic blog and the Twitter handle in the description. Thank you so much for joining in our show. Thank you everyone who was watching. Hemakumar YHK signing off. Bye bye.
Bye. See you.